Pikmin 4. Nintendo's been talking about Pikmin 4 since 2015, and we still have only gotten, oh yeah, nothing! So after this extensively long wait, is Pikmin 4 finally on the horizon, or does the fact that we've been waiting so long with such little information mean that Pikmin 4 is still a ways off? Hello all 627 of you, I'm Redkwan, and when is Pikmin 4 coming? Whoa, 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 hold it right there, Redkwan. Are you trying to make the same Pikmin 4 video for a third time? You're just milking Pikmin for views! Ouch. That really hurts. But you're only 90% right. You see, my first Pikmin 4 video was an open-ended question about what was going on with the game, and the second was a follow-up to it being a no-show at E3. I won't say there's no overlap, but I mean, they're different topics. Ish. Well anyways, to find when Pikmin 4 is coming, we have to figure out what stage it's currently in. Pikmin 4 was first talked about by Miyamoto in 2015, and we've gotten little hints since, like a follow-up in 2017 to be told that yes, it is still progressing. A lot of people think that when Nintendo has talked about Pikmin 4, they've been talking about Hey Pikmin, the wondrous little trash heap of fun where Pikmin is a 2D platformer. But I really think it's not what they've meant. If you look at what they've said, they refer to the Pikmin team, who is apparently always at work on the next Pikmin game. But Hey Pikmin was made by an outside team instead of the normal Pikmin team, so if they were talking about Hey Pikmin, it just wouldn't make sense. Plus, when it was talked about in 2017, it was said to be progressing, and if they were talking about Hey Pikmin, then they would really have had to put the hammer down to get that thing out on schedule. So yeah, Hey Pikmin isn't Pikmin 4, and it isn't what Nintendo's been talking about with the Switch. So what that means is that Pikmin 4 has been in development for a long time at this point, and with Nintendo saying the game was almost finished back in 2015, it would seem that a release, or at least announcement, would be coming sometime soon. Or at least that's what I used to think. What a fool I was back then. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not really sure it will be soon. Next year is gonna be packed. We're already supposed to get Yoshi, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, and Animal Crossing in 2019. Along with at least a few more ports. That doesn't exactly leave a lot of room for a potential Pikmin game. I can't really see Pikmin happening next year, to be completely honest. It's just too packed with stuff, and I don't see Nintendo trying to cram games in close to the point where they hurt the sales of the others. And I know it seems outrageous that Pikmin could be almost done in 2015 and not come out until at least 2020, and that's because it is. In fact, 3.5 years after being nearly completed in mid-2015, we still haven't even gotten an official announcement. That's the treatment Nintendo would only give to Pikmin. But you know, at least it's happening at all. And looking back, maybe it shouldn't even be much of a surprise that this is how long it's gonna be. Pikmin 3 was first brought up 5 years before it would eventually release. 5 years. Not only is Nintendo killing Pikmin fans slowly and painfully for Pikmin 4, they're doing it on a consistent basis. The reason Pikmin 3 came out so late was that the game was originally in development for the Wii, before being switched to the Wii U once the Wii was no longer the hip console on the block. I think there could be a similar thing with the Switch. When Pikmin 4 was first talked about, it sounded like it might be a Wii U game, and I think the fact that it was almost finished is pretty good evidence that there was some big change in development. I think Pikmin 4 was probably originally intended to be on the Wii U, and that the development was eventually moved over to the Switch. That would explain both the almost finished thing as well as the really long development time. But there's another thing. Nintendo has developed a little bit of a habit, and it's called porting over every Wii U game you can get your hands on and treating them like it's a new game in the series. And you know what game would make more sense than any other ones they have left? Pikmin 3. Pikmin 3 is the perfect Nintendo game to port. It's a Nintendo game that reviewed super well, but didn't do great in sales. And Nintendo is in so deep with this habit of porting every Wii U game in existence that I think it's pretty much a thing that's gonna happen at this point. But that makes things a little bit interesting, because if Nintendo is going to port Pikmin 3, or maybe opt to do a Pikmin trilogy, they would probably do it before Pikmin 4, so that they could get all those hip Switch kids excited about Pikmin games. And because Nintendo treats their ports like their new games, they'll have to give it at least a year in between. So what does all this mean about when Pikmin will actually come out? Well, it's not exactly great news. Between next year being packed, a port of Pikmin 3 or the Pikmin trilogy having a pretty good chance of happening, the history of releasing Pikmin games 5 years after talking about them, and the fact that we still haven't even gotten an official announcement for it yet, I'd say 2019 doesn't seem like it's happening. But I also don't think you can really go past 2020. I think 2020 is the only way it could really happen. Anything later than 2020 would just be complete insanity. You can't say your game is basically finished and then release it 6 years later. I mean, you can't even really do it with 5 years. And I think it would probably be a great addition to the schedule in 2022, seeing as we don't know a whole lot beyond 2019. If Pikmin 4 is coming in 2020, it'll probably come in the summer, seeing as that's just a more Pikmin-y time of year, and I would guess it would be revealed sometime in 2019, maybe at E3. So yes, I do think Pikmin 4 is still a ways away, but hopefully we'll be able to at least catch a glimpse of it soon. I have faith that it's coming along, and with that long of a development time, well, it better be pretty darn good. If you want to feel optimistic about any of this, then well, I guess at least it's not coming any later than 2020. If it's still not out in 2020 though, well, I might just have to trade in my Switch for an Atari Jaguar. Well, I'm Redkwan. What do you think about Pikmin 4 and when it'll come? Do you think we're going to be getting any sort of Pikmin 3 port or Pikmin trilogy? Or do you think Nintendo can resist the easily obtained cash of re-releasing an old Wii U gem for the sake of poor Wii U owners? I kinda doubt it. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.